So what do you do when the power goes out? Since we're having all these power outages happening so often, way more than I'd ever had living almost 5 years in Mexico, and we haven't quite gotten the generator to work correctly. What have I, done when the power goes out? Well, one of the things is, I live on the beach, so I can get in the water. Pool's still being constructed, otherwise I can sit in like this palapa here. I'm in this palapa. It does have a fan, even though it's not working right now because there's no power. But I'm on the beach, which is right over there. That's my view. It's bloody nice. And so I get the ocean breeze and everything. And I have an iPad where I download music. So I got, and I always have this because you never know. I have several playlists. I got gigs worth of music downloaded, so I can listen to music at any time, and Netflix. So I actually download some shows. Always make sure that whatever I'm currently watching, or maybe the next show that I want to watch, I have maybe the entire season downloaded of it. I use a lot of space on my iPad for that. Typically, I do watch it on my TV, and I got an Apple TV and a big TV. But I make sure that I always have this updated, and it's set to do that automatically. Smart downloads and Netflix and Apple Music always make sure there's a few playlists that I like, so I can come out here and have my morning coffee, enjoy the view, and be able to play some jazz playlist, or a dance playlist that I like, or maybe the latest album I'm checking out. I'll download it. I just always make sure that I download a lot of stuff. I also have a Kindle, and all my books that I have, of course, are all downloaded on it. In fact, Kindle is rarely on the internet, only to sync up, really. And so it has hundreds and hundreds of books that I haven't read yet on there, so I can just sit to my heart's content. And that kind of covers everything. It's only, no electricity. Is like I have a hard time making breakfast because I use a blender and a juicer every morning. So I have to change what I do for breakfast when that happens. And if it lasts too long, I go into town and eat out and do that, because it's just, there's only so much you can do. And the only real worry I have right now is the refrigerator. And so that's why we need to get the refrigerator, the generator. We need to get the generator up and running because the power went out in the middle of the night last night. I didn't even know. I was already asleep. Woke up in the middle of the night a little hot, so I thought I'd turn the air conditioner on, and it wouldn't work. So I opened up the windows. We're up on the 3rd floor, right here on the beach, and this is the traffic. Someone's going out fishing, probably, going on here. And we get a nice breeze, and actually it's not bad. We do that a lot. In the middle of summer, it's a little bit hard. We do tend to use the air conditioner more, and the rest of the year we have the windows open a lot, because it's quite nice if you're on the beach. If you're one row back, it gets a little too hot for me. And if you live in Merida, which is a big city, but it gets really hot there, you pretty much have to live. And we've lived in Merida a number of times before we bought a place and settled down. And I had to have the air conditioning on quite a bit, unless I was in the pool. Most Merida places have a pool, which is quite nice. And so those are just some of the things we do to get by when the electricity is out. And I think around here, having a generator and solar, which we're also planning to do, is definitely necessary, so that when the electricity from the power company, there's only one in the entire country of Mexico, when it goes out here, we just automatically flip over to solar. We're going to be on solar once we have that up and running. We'll be on all time, and only flip over to the government-run electricity company when the batteries go out, the house batteries go out, which means it has to be here really cloudy for probably at least a couple of days in a row, which never happens here. So probably really not an issue. We did rent a place for a month once in Progreso, I don't know, about 5 streets back from the beach, that had solar, and our electricity bill for the month was $5. It was really nice, and that was because we did have about 2 days rain. It got kind of dark, and so that's probably when the electricity from the government electricity company kicked in, and that was it. The rest of the time we were running on solar, and we had no idea. We had air conditionings running full blast and didn't have a problem. So going solar here is definitely something you want to look at doing. The return on investment is actually pretty quick because this is a paradise for solar, and there's so much sun and whatnot. And electricity here is expensive. It's kind of like California pricing, even though we're in Mexico. So it's expensive to get electricity, especially if you like air conditioning. You know, there's up to a certain level of electricity, you actually get a really big, huge discount, and it's pretty cheap. And that's why, you know, poor families of Mexico can afford having, you know, lights and a refrigerator. But once you go with air conditioning, the electricity bill goes up, and then you pay much higher rates for it, basically resort rate and everything. And so you can easily spend hundreds of dollars in electricity a month. New people, when they move here, don't realize that, and next you get billed every 2 months. Next thing you know, they have an $800 bill that's due typically the next day. You have to pay really, really, really quickly here in cash for the most part. I think that's true. So far we had to. You know, now that we're residents, we may be able to pay that online. We're still getting that bill flipped over to us, so I haven't quite figured that out yet. So we're having to go into town in a couple of days to actually pay our electricity bill. We're having to go into town in a couple of days to pay the electricity bill in cash, and flip the account over to us. So I'll tell you more once I know some more about all those type of details. But that is the status from here from the beach in Yucatan, Mexico. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to have a lot of updates on renovating a home, so pay attention to this channel. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.